Hello, my friend. In this episode, I am going to be showing you how to create a branded frame or lower third for when you have a guest. That's different than what I have here. Here is just it's a frame, but it's just for me, right? With my name down here and then my logo, other side, logo over here, right there. And then I have my podcast that I would like people to go to, the Andy Falco podcast.com. You go there, it'll lead you to iHeartRadio right here, where you can subscribe to my podcast. So in teaching you in this program that we're in right now, those of you that are watching live, what I'm doing right now is recording a version of a portion of my training program that's called Live Streaming with StreamYard. So you're participating somewhat in this particular training video, and I'm going live to show the person who has opted in and purchased the full product. I have a basic, intermediate, and advanced version of training you how to go live on StreamYard, and I'm going live in order to do that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take away this frame and show you what I'm talking about. So if you're on a show and you're getting ready to do a show where you're interviewing somebody who's somewhere else, in another city, state, country for that matter, somewhere else on the planet, you are going to bring them in a different frame on your broadcast. And it won't work if you're using, if you ever so often want to bring up your lower third, what it'll do, it'll look wonky because it just will look strange. So let me bring in my guest. I'm going to bring in my guest, Tiger. Tiger is in my bedroom, sitting on the bed. And you see right now what I did is I didn't change the background. What we need to do is go to a flat background. You see, if you're using the background that I used as a thumbnail, and this is for those people on the training, because we talked about using a thumbnail. What you need to do is before you bring them on live, I'm going to take them back. And so the thumbnail that I'm using was the one that you saw at the beginning of this broadcast. And then at that point, at some point before you decide to bring in your guests, we want to change to the black background or another background. I have a motion background. You'll see when I bring up the guest here, which is Tiger. And you'll see I have back there, it's a motion background. Now I'm going to decide to use this black one instead. Or you can create one of your own. So you can have that option available to you. Or you can bring in what is called an overlay, which is and you can do it two ways. You can do it as a background, but I in this case, what I'm showing you is how to use it as an overlay, because I'm going to do something else here just to kind of give you another perspective of what you can do here. So in the overlay, it would look, a simple one would be this. So you see underneath our frames, when we have the pulled back version of the shot using StreamYard, you can see below, you can see my name and the product, andyislive.com. If you go to andyislive.com, you'll go to the landing page for the product that I'm currently creating, that people are watching in the training program right now. You would just happen to be watching it live. Now, I can also expand out like that. You can see the reason I'm using the overlay instead of the background is because now when I go to full frame, I still have the lower thirds there. Does that make sense? You have to be careful that when you're setting this up later on, you see how, and I did this on purpose, you see how my guest is, the top of their head's cut off. And so in the, before you go live, you want to make sure and set their camera so that it looks like mine, where I have a little bit of space above that background. And that's why I choose to use an overlay, because you can surely do this and have it as a background and it won't be an issue whatsoever. But when you decide, and I've noticed this because I used to use it as a background, now I use it as an overlay and bring it out, and now that overlay stays where now it shows their name and underneath. All right, now let me show how we do this. I'm going to share my screen here, and so as I bring to the screen here, and I'm going to make it full, I'm using something called, let me get rid of that. I'm using something called Canva. Now, those of you in the training program, I've showed you how to use Canva, and I've given you a link so you can save some money on Canva. Both of us actually will get a little bit of a credit in our Canva account, so that you can see this. And so what I simply do is I use Canva to create a 1080, right? I'm going to just make sure of the file size. No, 1280 by 720. So 1280 by 720 is the frame that I'm using right there. That's important to know ahead of time so that it fills the screen. All right, so 1280 by 720. And then I put a banner up. How do I do that? Well, I go over here to elements, and I get a square, and I'm just going to show you here. And you take your square and you elongate it out so that it covers the screen. And then you bring up, and you now have that red stripe that I have, and then you just move it up to where you want it to go. All right. So that's how you create that little banner there. And then you take the text and you hit the text button, and you use your text here, and then you'll type whatever it is. So let's type in andyislive.com. Click your font. I love Puffins for my branded font is Poppins. And so now I've done that. And now when I take it up here, you're going to want to make sure and adjust the font size, right? Hello, there we go. Down to whatever. I'm going to guess here, maybe 28. No, it's too small, but it doesn't matter. So then I take, hello, come on, computer. There we go. And then I center that. And now if I want to keep it black, I keep it black. Or if I want to change it to a different color, then of course we go up here and we change it to white. And that's how we get that color there. All right. So that's how we create that upper frame. Now down here, this is a little bit different, is that you have to probably play around with it a little bit before you get these names and the URLs directly underneath those pictures. So you may have to upload one or more until you get it centered correctly. You can see my Andy is live down here is not quite centered. So we would just move that around just a little bit and make sure that it gets centered. And you do this with either spacing, or you can create separate font frames if you want to. And keep this a little bit different. All right. So then when you're done with that, whatever it is that you're doing here, and putting another line under there if you want, then I'm just going to show you what you want to do is you go to download over here on the right, and you see this box right here. It says transparent background. You want to make sure and click that button so you get a transparent background. That way, when it goes up, you don't have a white area of this particular graphic covering everything, or else it'll be a completely solid graphic. To take away this white portion, you're going to click on transparent background and then download to your folder, and then you'll bring it up into StreamYard. All right. So there is that. Let me go ahead and go back to remove this and bring us back up here. So there's different versions I just want to show you. So in the early version, that's just that, very simple. Now, if you want more on your frame, you can bring in your logo, right? So let's go back to Canva, and I'm just going to show you how you bring in your logo. So over here in downloads or uploads, uploads, you're going to find your logo. Here's my logo here. I'm going to bring the logo in, and you can see how big it is. You do, of course, you don't want that big. You want to use a PNG file of your logo. So you can see right now, you can't see the and show on this particular, see right here where it says the, and then down here where it says show, you can't see that very well, but that's okay, because remember, you're going to get rid of this background, and you want to make sure and make it small. All right, so then you're going to save it, and you're going to go down. Now, if I wanted to bring in maybe the logo of my product, I do the same thing. Now, this is really cool. If you have the pro version of Canva, I think that's what it's called. That's the version I have. I forget what it's called, but the higher version, you can see how I have this black background. Remember, we want a PNG version. So in the advanced or pro version of Canva, you go over here where it says effects. See it up here on the left-hand side? You're going to click on that, and it says background remover. Watch what happens when I click background remover. It obviously will remove the background, and it leaves me the text. Now, again, this looks kind of funny on this white background, but just watch and see what happens. So I'm going to take and move that over here, over on their side. And this is just for fun. I'm not trying to show you how to create a graphic, because you guys are probably more skilled at this than I am, but that's just giving you an example of what it is you can do. Now, remember, when you go to download, you are going to hit this box transparent and then hit download. All right. Now, I've already done that. So let's go ahead and come back to my frame, and I'm going to get rid of this for the time being. And now here's one with the logos that I just said. So now you can see what looked kind of funky in Canva now looks perfect because it's on a black background. You can see where it says the Andy Falco Show up here, and the other logo on the right says live streaming, and that is the logo for the product that I'm creating at andyislive.com. Don't forget to go to andyislive.com. All right, down below you can see I have my name, and again, if I'm trying to promote something, I want to put that URL under my name. Now, let's say the tiger is a best-selling author. If the tiger is the best-selling author, you're going to create a frame for that tiger. Right? And so now you have a #1 bestseller, Meat Eater. But look at what happened with my grayed out background. It's really hard to see that red. And so again, you may not find that until you get it into the broadcast before you go live. And so now you're just simply going to want to take away that background. And now you can see the best. But wait a minute. I can't see my name because it was in white. Or no, I mean, sorry, it was in blue. And so what I might want to do is change that to white. And now changing to white makes it good. So you can see what I wanted to show you is that you just kind of have to kind of finagle a little bit, upload it, see what it looks like. And you can do this all before you go live, and you can test it with the version. Let me explain how I have the tiger. Did I say lion? He's a tiger. So the tiger, let me explain how I bring the tiger in. Tiger, what I did is I invited myself using the URL in a StreamYard, which I've taught you in the program. I think it's in the intermediate or the basic program, is that I sent myself the URL that I would send somebody that I want to bring on as a guest. I went to my phone and I clicked on that link and I opened it up on my phone. And now what I did is I put my phone on a tripod in my bedroom, and that's why I can see Tiger as a guest. Even though he's in the same house. And so that's how I brought that in. Another thing you can do is you could actually use it as a second camera on a broadcast if you wanted to. And that picture looks great, right? I'm using an iPhone 11 Super Max Pro, and that picture looks really, really cool there. Let me see who's commenting up here just really quick. Hey, Mr. Ronald, nice to see you here in Uganda. Very nice. Look at, we got somebody from Uganda here. That's awesome. All right. So now, do you see this little space underneath that red line, underneath our names down there? I left that gap so that I can run a moving banner underneath. Watch what happens here. And there we have a ticker tape. The ticker tape is running there underneath. And this gives you, again, it can be running during your show, but it doesn't take away from the bestseller notification or the name of the guest or my name. It allows it to run under there cleanly so that it doesn't take away from any of those things. If I decide I want to go to the full frame, if I want to go to the full frame, you see a little bit of the red color kind of goes away, that kind of stuff. But that's why you only leave it there maybe for a short period of time, and then you can bring it back. That's another reason why I put that gray in there too. So again, you're just gonna have to fiddle with this a little bit. Oops, wrong one. Here we go. See that why I have that little bit of a grayish background, a white background. It allows, even though the color in the picture of your guest or in me with that grayish little background, it allows it to be seen as opposed to this. You see what I'm talking about there? So you're gonna have to kind of just mess around and see what it is you want to do. Or if you decide that you're just gonna stay in this shot here, then that's perfectly fine. You can do that too. All right, my friends. So for those of you watching live, as I did this little bit of a demonstration, I hope that you got something out of it you can utilize for yourself, and understand that you can see all the training videos. Some of them are very short. Some of them are a little bit longer that explain a whole bunch of things on how to go live using StreamYard. And to get into the program, you're just going to go to andyislive.com. Go to andyislive.com. That will take you to the landing page. There will be a little video telling you what it is you're going to get. And then you're just going to click on the option to purchase the entire program. You're going to get the basic program, the intermediate program, and the advanced program. And it's $49. $49, I believe. If it's $47, then you're getting a discount. But it's $49, and you get all three programs: the basic program, the intermediate program, and the advanced program. Those of you that have already purchased and did not know, I just uploaded 4 new videos between yesterday and today. No, the day before yesterday and today. So there's 4 new videos. There'll be this video, which will be the 5th video, which will be in there for you to see once you get in there. All right, my friends. And then coming up on the next set of videos will be how to repurpose these live broadcasts to create either a blog, how to write a book, how to use them in other platforms that don't allow you to go live, like Rumble and Parler And if you don't have a permission to go live in LinkedIn, how you can upload leads to LinkedIn. So I'm going to show you how to repurpose these live broadcasts, the recorded version of these live broadcasts, and which tools I use to do that. In some cases automatically. And then lastly, we're going to show you how to create a podcast using your live broadcast in the recorded version. Both audio and a video podcast. All right, so I'll show you how to do that. And again, what tools I use to do that. All right, so I hope this has been helpful. I will see you guys at the very next training video. Maybe not all of you in the live version, but those of you that are in the training program will be able to see some of the newer programs that are coming up very quickly. All right, take care, and thank you for watching. Bye.